Did you think I forgot about you? I could never forget about you. Welcome back to the Skilled Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's episode 90 of What's on the Bench Weekly. See, I even remembered what to do when I'm supposed to. It's been a little while. This show had to go on a hiatus while I was working on those two trucks back there. But now that that's all done with, we can get back to things that are on the bench. And man, there are a lot of them. Some of which haven't been touched since the last time they were shown. But there's been a lot of stuff happening. And the first thing that's been happening is this beautiful thing right here, the H10 Optic from Vanquish Products. This one's been modified a little bit. It's not stock any longer. If you are interested in that review of the stock vehicle, which is fantastic, I'll put a link right up there so you can check that out at your leisure. But this one has been modified. No longer is it a stock trail buggy. It has definitely been upgraded. With some pretty great parts. I've already installed a Reef's Raw 500 brushless servo into this truck to give it a lot more steering power. I love this whole behind the axle steering setup and this whole faux hydraulic ram system up front. I think it really looks awesome. And the engineering of this truck is fantastic. They've really put a lot of thought into it, and there is so many more things that you could upgrade down the line. I'm kind of going through things as I'm kind of thinking about them and making this sort of a little more wild and a little less mild. And to go with that is a Castle 2850 kV brushless slate motor and Mamba X ESC. It was something that I actually had in my parts bin of all places, and I figured why not put it into here. I think it'll be a nice complement to the sort of more racy, more trail element of this buggy. Along with those power upgrades, I've also started installing a prototype of the new Knight Customs optic interior. This is of course going to have moving driver heads, steering wheel, brake lever. In this case it could be a dig lever, I guess. I haven't installed a dig. This is still the regular VFD transmission, not the VFD Twin, which would offer dig and overdrive adjustments on the fly. You can, of course, get a VFD and add a dig to that as well. So that's another option down the line too. There are a lot of different ways you can make this truck better. One of the other things I did was I put a nice set of West Desert Wheeler's cut and shut BF Goodrich crawler TAs. This makes it so it's not quite a 2.2 size, much more closer to the 1.9 size, but fits on a 2.2 inch wheel. These are the KMC, which ones are these? These are the KMC tanks in a 2.2 inch size, and I think it actually looks pretty good on this buggy. I still have the original 1.9 Yokohamas that were on this, and it's not such a hugely different size to these cut and shuts that Logan did over West Desert Wheeler. I actually think these look pretty spot on for the size and the scale of this buggy, so we're gonna go with that. And while this is still a prototype interior, there will be a few more changes that I might ask James to make before he makes this available for everyone. It is coming along really nicely. He also, and I haven't printed them yet, I'm going to start printing them. 10 o'clock. I haven't started printing them yet, but I will start printing them. He's got driver heads for me and for Josh, so I'll be adding those as well, and they both have the ability to be run off a servo. So we're gonna have to figure all of that out so we can have his head turned in the same direction as mine, or maybe opposite, because anytime he tells me to turn passenger, I always turn driver. So maybe we'll have him looking in the opposite direction. That would actually be kind of funny. Let me know which direction you want his head to turn, and we'll make that happen. Put a comment down below. You know I love reading through your feedback, and I try to answer as many of those comments as I can. And of course, if you like this video and you like this whole What's on the Bench series that took a bit of a small break, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get updates anytime there's a new video from the Skilled Builders Guild. All right, finally, the last thing that's been added here, I added this grill here, and look at that. It looks a little more Jeep-like now. That's courtesy of Crawl NYC, who I thought was dead, but he's not. He just took a break from RC for a year and change, and I'm so glad that he's still around and making stuff, because he has a great sense of design and comedy, and he's just a really great guy to have in this hobby, and I'm so glad that he's around still. So he does this Jeep one, or Jeep-ish anyway, and there's also a Toyota style one too that's sort of, oops. We've also got this Toyota style one here, which is a little more Land Cruiser-esque, which I think looks pretty good as well. If actually, you know what? Since I've already printed this one, if you want it, if you want it before I break it, put a comment down below, and I'll send this out to one of you, just for kicks. And of course, like any giveaway here, you never have to pay anything. It's just all on me. So if anybody tries to tell you you need to pay for shipping and handling or some sort of service charge or any of that nonsense, you know it's fake. Don't fall for a scam. Before I go on to the next thing though, I will say that Vanquish did an amazing job with the H10 optic. I saw a whole bunch of them out in Colorado when I was there for the We Rock RC crawler competition, and they just look so awesome out on the rocks. I cannot wait to take mine out again. Hopefully soon, because I've got this whole livery on here now. I took off all those stickers, all those decals from Sparco. I wasn't really feeling them, if I'm honest. And the blue panels needed to have something red, white, and blue on them, so why not a Scale Builders Guild livery? This one is a half skin, or a half... I don't remember what Freaky Skins calls these, but I had Freaky Skins make these up for me, and it actually looks pretty darn good on there. All right. Now, on to the next thing. Next up, from Team Garage Hack, I was actually at the TGH Clubhouse over the weekend. I got to hang out with Chris and see a whole bunch of really cool stuff going down there. He's got a pretty cool new winch coming. I think it's out now. You can buy these. But he supplied me with one. And just look at this thing. It's crazy. It is so amazing. It's all machined, anodized aluminum. It's got a lot of modular designs to it, so you can put it in multiple places on a scale truck. If you're looking for a performance winch, this is the one to look at. It's pretty insane. Not only do you get this really great looking modular winch, you also get the Precision RC Works Raptor 12 volt digital controller. This will run on up to 4S, which is pretty amazing. You also get a mounting plate, a fair lead, a bunch of screws, and a hook. You get a nice winch hook there as well. There's also the winch line and some optional gearing to change the speed of this winch. So it's really like an all-in-one package. It's pretty amazing, and I cannot wait to give this a try on my next comp truck. Along with the winch, I also got one of Team Garage Hack's hack stands, and it's mounted over here on this side of the bench. And this is really, Chris designed this ultimately to be a way to hold a truck and to kind of maneuver around it on the bench rather than lifting it up and trying to hold it. It's basically like a big, how can I describe this? It's kind of like having a third hand, like you do when you're soldering. Only this is to hold an entire truck, which is pretty cool. I'm still trying to find the best place for me to integrate this into my workflow. One of the things I think it could also function as really well, if you're a budding YouTuber or you're looking to get into this whole filming yourself and your hands on desks, this could also be a great way to mount a third camera for a different angle on your bench. And that might be something I'm going to give a try here in a few episodes as well. So, my thanks, of course, to Chris for sending all this stuff my way, Team Garage Hack. I will put links down below to both the hack stand and the performance winch, which this thing just looks so cool. What a rad little piece of machinery. Very awesome. Thank you very much. All right, on to the next thing. And speaking of performance, it wouldn't be a performance episode without a box from Artful Dodgers. And it obviously comes much better packed than what I'm showing you right now because I've already taken it out of the box. This is the new Artful Dodgers Pathfinder chassis kit. And this is a pretty cool looking chassis. This is forged carbon fiber as opposed to carbon fiber weave. So you get a lot of that really cool randomized kind of flaked pattern, and I think it looks really awesome. They've already integrated their Artful Dodgers Ground Fox logo, despite this being the Pathfinder chassis. I guess it's sort of like, this is their logo for everything, which is really cool. But this is a comp style chassis, but it's got some pretty cool tricks up its sleeve. One of the things that is included in this kit is the Ground Fox ULV transmission, and this is made in conjunction with Nordic Crawlers, whom I've also featured on What's on the Bench before. This is a tiny little transmission. As you can see, it's set up to mount in either direction, so you can have motor going in either the left-hand side or the right-hand side. But look at this tiny little thing. So nicely. Look at the machine details there in the carbon fiber. That is very cool. Very much a lightweight, small transfer case style transmission to allow for a much more compy build. There are two different Delrin skids. Well, this one 3D printed, and then there's this Delrin skid as well. And this one doesn't have anything on it, so I believe that this is for a different application. But here is a printed skid. You can see it's got quite the angular skid setup, so it's going to be very competition focused. Along with that transmission setup, you can also set it up to run with a VFD stubby kit from Vanquish, so there is that option as well. In addition to that, I've also got the titanium link set from Nordic Crawlers, and this is for, I'm not sure what wheelbase. Let me double check that. It doesn't say, but I'm going to guess around a 12.3. It's got the bent lower links and includes all the Traxxas rod ends you'll need to create this as well, which is pretty cool. Nice that they include that. What else have we got in here? I think this is going to be, yes, the VRD stubby conversion kit, as well as some assorted parts, all the aluminum standoffs for between the two chassis rails, your shock towers, and another skid in there as well. Looks like there's a truss as well for servo mounting on the axle. Lots of options included with this kit. I am pretty excited to set this up. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get to it right away, but it is really super nicely engineered. Artful Dodgers and Nordic Crawlers always do a really good job with their stuff, and you can tell that there's a lot of attention spent on making sure these parts not only perform, but look really good too. So I'm excited to put this together. I'm excited to give it a try. I have been spending more time on the comp rocks lately, so it'll be fun to build one of these and really set it up to my personal preference. Can't wait to see what I can come up with and ruin it by putting a hard body on it. So there you go, another cool project from Artful Dodgers on the way. It's always super exciting. I love these guys. I also love their packaging. They always do a really nice job. Like I said, if you're interested in this, I will put a link down below where you can buy it and find out more information about it. Okay, I think that might be it for today. That's a lot of stuff, isn't it? Yes, it is. I'm really glad to be back. I'm really glad to be done with these two builds behind me. That was a really fun opportunity. Those guys down in Colorado were fantastic. Ty and David put on a really great comp, and of course, I'm sure you've been watching the comp videos so you can see how poor I am at driving. But there you go. I think that's going to do it. I'm so glad that everyone's sticking around and this show is back, which is the best thing. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again next week.